Hello, my name is Trey Thompson, and my poem is Interrogations at Noon. Just before noon, I often hear a voice, cool and insistent, whispering in my head. It is the better man I might have been, whose chronicles the life I never led. He cannot understand what grim mistake granted me life but left him still unborn. He views his wayward brother with regret, and hardly bothers to disguise his scorn.
Who is the person you pretend to be?
He asked.
The failed saint, the simpering boor, the pale connoisseur of spent desire, the half-hearted hermit eyeing the door. You cultivate confusion like a rose, and watery lies too weak to be untrue, and play the minor figures in the pageant, extravagant and empty. That is you.
This poem is about a man whose conscience is being really tough and harsh on him for not being the man that he could have been, and the conscience is actually considered a separate being inside of the man who is wondering why this lesser man was born instead of him, who in this case is the better man. The big significance in the poem Interrogations at Noon is how the speaker uses quotation marks to set off his conscience speaking inside of his own head. So it's a true voice in his own head, which was not read by me in this case, which shows that it's not the speaker who is actually saying it, but the voice in his head. And that shows its significance because it's a separate being inside of his own body. My personal connection to Interrogation at Noon deals with the fact that I can see myself as the speaker, in a sense of my conscience sometimes letting me know that I did do something wrong, or I acted, morally in the wrong way. But the extremity to where his conscience, talking about the speaker in this case, takes his ridicule is a little over the top, and that's where I see the differences between my personal connection to the speaker's personal connection. I chose this poem because it relates to anyone and everyone. It's something that anyone can relate to because they have times in their life where they feel guilty and their conscience might be harsh on them, like the speaker's conscience is in this case. And so it's a very relatable topic. So in the end, the big reason why I chose this poem is because it doesn't just only relate to me, but any person, anywhere. What it means to me is kind of confusing, because how are you going to make a decision in life and know what's right when your conscience is just telling you how bad of a person you are? In the end, the decision has to be made, and if all your conscience is doing is really ridiculing you and not giving you satisfaction on making the right choice, then how are you to know the decision you're making is the right one? What does it say to me personally is to evaluate myself. And if my conscience is telling me anything negative like the conscience is to the speaker in this case, then I might need to go back and evaluate and review my life and see what I might can do different so that I can have a clear and just, good conscience. Thanks.
Good job, man.